Yeah, look, we're still coming into grips with what level of damage has been caused. We have a disaster group meeting in about 15 minutes, and we'll get an update then. But something that came out of nothing and went very quickly, but from all reports, has done some really devastating damage to a number of homes and businesses.
Yeah, and the best description at the moment seems to be kind of like a mini tornado because it's cut quite a narrow path through a couple of suburbs.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the Bureau will actually term it as this morning, but it seemed to start around the airport at Garbutt, move through at least two of the suburbs, and then I'm not too sure what happened to it from there. It seems to have disappeared. So, but look, it has done some major damage. It's quite eerie in the city because either side of that narrow swathe, people are going around about their business. Our garbage collectors are picking up garbage bins, people are taking their kids to school, and people are driving to work. So it's rather an eerie situation where it can just cut that little narrow swathe through the city and do so much damage.
Yeah, so Vincent seems to be the suburb worst affected. You mentioned one other suburb.
My understanding is there is some damage in Garbutt, which is the suburb closest to the airport. The major damage in Vincent, but also some fairly heavy damage in the suburb of Aikenvale.
Right, and no one actually heard at this stage. I know we were speaking to someone on ABC News 24 earlier, and they said she got a couple of cuts on her arms when a window blew in. Have you heard of any reports of people suffering injury? And we're just seeing a shot now, of a branch that speared through the side of a home, showing how strong that wind must have been. Have you heard of anyone actually being hurt?
Haven't got any reports at this stage, but obviously when we have our meeting this morning, we'll get an update on all of that. Our works crews are out there, of course, looking at cutting, barricading off roads where there's power lines down, clearing the roads of debris from trees that have fallen. The Ergon Energy people are out there, obviously trying to restore power. I understand there's 10 to 15,000 homes that are out because of the damage to the poles and the wires being down. Police are out on the traffic lights, guiding traffic through. So we will have a better update shortly, and hopefully there is no injuries.
Yeah, Les, early reports had suggested that at least 4 homes had been affected. From the vision we're seeing, it seems like there's a fair few more than 4 in terms of damage. Have you received any preliminary reports or got any preliminary indications yourself about how many homes have been damaged?
Well, the Department of Public Works people are out there now doing that assessment, and but we do know there were 34 calls to the SES. Some of those were just for a leaking roof, but it certainly would appear at this stage there would be 30 to 40 homes, but that could be an estimate that's not close to the mark. Again, we'll have that information when we meet and get a better handle on what actually needs to be done.
And Les, for people in that suburb of Vincent now and the other suburbs you mentioned that have been affected, your advice is for them to stay indoors because of concerns about fallen power lines?
Yeah, certainly people shouldn't walk the streets or drive through the streets. There will be water on the streets as well. We had torrential rain overnight. So people need to be very careful about what they do. We will no doubt activate our recovery team this morning, and we'll be looking at those sorts of things that need to be done on a personal nature, whether we need to provide temporary lodgings and things like that.